Get your horns up, mates. It's time for the show.
Friends and family, welcome back to another episode of Bemusing Bill. You might be new here because this is a spotlight episode. I've never heard of this artist before. This is Dan Bull. This is his YouTube channel. The song is called Civilization Epic Rap. Now, this is a request from my buddy, my dear Night Spearhead. You rule, Night. Thank you so much for everything you do, really. So I want to check out what this Dan Bull has got to offer. The video game that this is based off of, Civilization, I have never played. I've seen the trailers for it. It looks really cool. Now, Knight tells me that they're using a trailer from, I think it's the fifth game in the series, or the fifth episode. So going to check that out. Games have come a long, long way. I'm still playing Diablo 3. I haven't even gotten to 4 yet. But I love it. I do. My wife, she's the big gamer. She's the World of Warcraft girl. She's the, goes all the way back to the old days of Centipede and even Pong. And she still kicks my ass in those games anyway. But that's another story. Let's bring up this here screen. I'm going to leave this link down there so you guys can do this. Just like that. Show your love. Show your support to Dan Bull. That's what it's all about. I'm only here to check this out and help support the artist. So if you go over there, do the love thing, hit him up with a comment or two. Those really help the artist. They'll help my channel. And it's a really nice thing to do to somebody, don't you think? If you'd like to support this channel, you'd like to be part of the family like Knight is, Patreon link down below in the box. Hook yourselves up. You can do it for free. You can do it for $1 a month, whatever you're comfortable doing. It's really cool stuff, exclusive stuff, and Discord, all part of it, regardless of what your membership is. And if you'd like to do like a thanks Uncle Bill sort of thing, or maybe you even want to request a song, got a couple links down there for you too. There's PayPal, and there's even buy me a cup of coffee. Now, Knight was also very nice to hook me up with a link to the lyrics. So that should be cool. On this channel, we do words and music. So after we check out the video, we're going to take a little dive into the lyrical content and see what's up. This should be really cool, my friends. Kids, buckle up. Let's do it. These games look so amazing.
We learn to band together and endeavor, clasp our hands together. Man developed language, letters, an incredible advantage getting plans together. But would we stand the test of time against the planet's reckless climate and its angry weather? Spread the sails and head west against the gales, and stormed aboard Norse longboats with decks as dense as nails. Her aim was riding waves and finding, claiming strange horizons, invading islands, native population slain with violence, enslaved and made to aim skyward, think of bigger things. Sphinxes, pyramids, raise them high in the name of different kings. The different things we've held sacred, divine, through places and times. The range of supplications and rites through ages we find. Nations arise as old civilizations crumble to dust, becoming strangers in time, waiting to die. Replaced in the night, the day breaks in the light, changes illuminating newer human faces as fights rage. The human race is facing the might of righteous states who would write the history books, even if it took a knife's blade to find the right page.
I like the way he's rhyming here too. He adds a little bit of melody to his scheming, his rhyme scheme, not scheming. His rhyme scheme. And it's a really cool rhyme scheme too. I know there's lyrics down there. I'm not catching everything because I'm also taking in the scenery, and I'm listening to the beat, and I'm listening to his bars and how he's putting them together. I'm not going to, say that I know how a rapper's mind works and the techniques involved. I mean, I'm not a singer, but I know what techniques a singer uses, and what ranges they're at, and where they are on the scale. I can kind of get there, but as a musician, I mean, I play instruments that, a little bit different, and I won't find them in rap usually. But I'm still listening to all of those other musicalities and the composition of the entire piece. I want to go back a bit here because I like the way he was putting this, rhyming this.
The die, replaced in the night. The day breaks in the light. Changes illuminating newer human faces as fights rage. The human race is facing the might of righteous states who would write the history books, even if it took a nice blade to find the right page. Sengoku Jedi, men offered to die for the honor of a warrior's life. The sun's coming and we're watching it rise as a new era's here. It's as solid as iron. Pull the tongues from the fire. Strike the hammer to the anvil. Craft a weapon to bring an enemy to a standstill. The blacksmith is the wizard that gives us these powers. Devour enemies leaping down from the siege towers. The better the tech is, the lesser the effort to wreck it. The less time to see the eyes and feel sympathetic. Never regrets it. A true knight never stays a true blade. Never says touche, but would forever lay in Blu-rays of weathered glades to demonstrate his never-ending dedication to the crusade. Reformation through flame, and after the cremation is a new age. Time's quill is quick to spill its ink onto a new page. The faces are the same as when
I gotta say, that was an awesome line right there. Let me catch that. Time's quill is quick to spill its ink onto a new page. That's a banger of a line right there.
Quill is quick to spill its ink onto a new page. The faces are the same as when in days gone, but brains are cultivated, thus creating the Renaissance. We're still using steel tools.
Artistic license, Renaissance, because it fit in with the rhyme scheme before that.
Brains are cultivated, thus creating the Renaissance. We're still using steel tools to stay strong, replacing blades with greater trades, pen and paper song. Faith in God is tested, hiding in the desert. Men excited, then enlightened by the scientific method. Tried describing its expression by inscribing his impression, when applying it to heavenly bodies that everybody reckon must have been made by a creative or a greater force. Nature's author-faced examination, never faced before. The grace of horse and rider, replaced with wars and violence. Debased the laws of science, made the case for all the pious. Why is it progress always leads to loads of mess? The western region spread across the globe and coalesced. Settlers spread disease with effortless ease. Was it reckless or did it just happen inevitably? Well, evidently we never can see through the lens of this century, but there's no retreating now, whether or not it was meant to be. The seven seas were sailed, navies prevailed, leaving trails of devastation in the wake as people wailed. A world of wonder, plunder, trading in the name of progress, but human nature's way shows we should expect no less. Oh yes, struck by the realization this is just civilization in the natal stages of industrialization. Trust me when I say that previous achievements are just child's play compared to this colossal school of thought. We set the world ablaze with fossil fuel we bought. It's an epiphany, giving us pretty much infinite energy. It's electricity.
You know who he reminds me of actually a little bit? Hear me out. He reminds me a little bit of Zach De La Rocha, the singer from Rage Against the Machine. I know Zach's got more of a bite in the way he rhymes, you know what I mean? And I say bite as in like, because it's very staccato, but it's also like, I don't know how to describe it. I can hear Dan's got a little bit of that too. There's a fierceness in there, an intensity. I dig that. There's just so much I'm catching in here. Not only with Dan's voice, but with his rhyme schemes. The imagery is incredible. I got so much to say. I'm going to have to cut a lot of it out because otherwise I can go on and on. I love history.
We bought, it's an epiphany, giving us pretty much infinite energy. It's electricity. Edison, Nikola Tesla, different advances, giving us everything we depend on, whether it's engine, cinema, television, or telecoms. Sending a message and spreading it on these unreal frontier channels. We develop the tech and then sell it on. The wheel travels round with the speed of a machine gun's barrels. Machinery.
That's a great shot right there because, when movies first were invented, people didn't ever see anything like that before in all of humankind, right? So when they have a big screen out there and they have a train barreling its way towards the camera, people were jumping out of their seats and running they honestly thought that they were going to get run over by a train or or something. Can you imagine what it must have been like back in the 1920s to go see a movie like Nosferatu? You're not thinking, effects and makeup and prosthetics and everything. They probably thought, like, where did they find this vampire? I mean, it's crazy stuff when you think about it. We're so used to it, it's blasé. But when it was brand new, it must have been intense. They're jumping all over the place with Civilization here. The movie projector, they're showing that movie with the train, then it goes into what looks like trench warfare, World War I.
Sending a message and spreading it on these unreal frontier channels. We developed the tech and sell it on. The wheel travels round with the speed of a machine gun's barrels. Machinery's a meaner beast and we're still in the saddle. No need for cavalry, battle superseded that with ease. Allies and axes charging each other like batteries. A power vacuum allowing the super states to flourish. We distribute the food even if it means people are malnourished. Propaganda is the only view that you're allowed to publish, cause totalitarians are well aware of how to punish. Gunning down numbers countless for doubtless nothings that they've done, but that won't stop subversive insurgents from coming out with courage, using their power to the fullest, whether creativity or demonstrating general relativity. Evidently when we find time to be efficient, Einstein nuclear vision can reveal the precision behind a blind nuclear fission. Despite derision, physicists decide the mission is dividing, splitting atoms till a blinding light is given quite efficient. The divine right to mankind's plight is prison, a minor decision hijacked by politicians. But as long as they listen to the will of the people, treat all us brilliant equals, we can achieve more than we've ever conceived before. Leave this poor place, please explore space. Earth, she's a small base, even more awaits. I implore great leaders to lead with all the grace of which we're capable and be the author of your fate. Bound together and endeavor, clasp our hands together as our ancestors have and stand the test of time forever.
Woo! That's awesome. That's awesome. Great job, Dan. Dan Bull, everybody. Hey. I know, right? That was a really, really cool night. Oh, wow. That covered a lot of bases right there. I mean, from the ancient pyramids and Vikings and all the way through to the space age. Crazy. I love it. Let's see what the lyrics say in its entirety. And I say this because I was catching a lot of great lines there. All right, so this is on genius.com, which means that like tons of ads will pop up and try to annoy me. And Dan actually says something here. Oops. This is my most ambitious song ever. As an ad comes up and blocks my view. This is my most ambitious song ever. Hip-hop history of thousands of years of human civilization. The subject matter in Dan Bull's raps is usually either life and feelings, current issues, and politics, or video games. This time he manages to integrate a huge portion of human history with a rap about Sid Meier's Civilization 5, a 4X strategy game that lets the players control historical nations through their rise and fall. I think I would be so down with this game, seriously. Now, where are the lyrics? I think I had, there we go. There's a lot of lyrics here, too. That's the thing is with rap, is that you can jam a lot of words into a short amount of time. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful talent. So the intro. We learn to band together and endeavor, clasp our hands together. Man developed language and letters, an incredible advantage getting plans together. But would we stand the test of time against the planet's reckless climate and its angry weather? Yeah, probably not. But, c'est la vie. Extinction events happen all the time. All the brightest minds in the world have said it'll likely be by our own hand. Way to go, humans. Way to go. Man developed language and letters, an incredible advantage getting plans together. I just read an article recently saying that after 5,500 years, a certain skill that humans have had for that amount of time is fading away with I guess with Gen Z is what the article was saying. Because of our phones and computers and everything, we're not writing anymore or very much. It's mostly being typed out, and it's very shorthand and with a lot of acronyms. And that younger generations are forgetting the art and skill of writing. Not just the physical act of it, but what you're writing about, how you're expressing yourself in the writing. And it's not just, regular correspondence. We don't write letters to each other like we used to. I did get a letter from a 23-year-old kid who is like my little brother, I'm his big brother, and he's a good kid. And the letter was so well written. I was blown away. But unfortunately, for the overall, I guess, it's becoming less and less. That's a scary thing, because that's one of the greatest accomplishments of our species. And then they talk about the weather. We all know what's up with that. As I await the incredibly cold climate coming next week. Spread the sails and head west against the gales, and storms aboard Norse longboats with decks as dense as nails. Our aim was riding waves and claiming strange horizons, invading islands. Usually, I think they're referring to the islands of England and Ireland. As at least a couple of them anyway. They were everywhere, which is really amazing. Our aim was riding waves and claiming strange horizons, invading islands, native populations slain with violence, enslaved and made to aim skyward. Think of bigger things, sphinxes, pyramids, right? So enslaved and made to aim skyward, building big things like pyramids and edifices that for the royalty or whatever. But that's where it started. Think of bigger things, sphinxes and pyramids. Raise them high in the name of different kings. The different things, love how he did that, we've held sacred, divine, through places in time, the range of supplications and rites. Through ages we find nations arise, as old civilizations crumble to dust, becoming strangers in time, waiting to die, replaced in the night. The day breaks and the light changes. It's pretty amazing to think about how much our world has changed, even if it's just within the last 1,000 years, which is a drop in the bucket, but it's changed dramatically and will continue to. I think it's just the natural evolution of civilization. At least it seems that way. Empires rise, they fall, nations come, they go. Boundaries can be changed and redetermined, and the world is a constant evolving place. The world as we know it right now probably will look a lot different in 100 years from now, in 500 years from now. Seems ridiculous, right? But it will happen. As old civilizations crumble to dust, becoming strangers in time, waiting to die, replaced in the night, the day breaks and the light changes, illuminating newer human faces as fights rage. The human race is facing the might of righteous states. Who would write the history books, even if it took a knife's blade? Even if it took a knife's blade. Well said. To find the right page, right? The history books, even if it took a knife's blade to find the right page. Sengoku Jidai. Men offered to die. What does that mean? Okay, so it's a period of time. The Sengoku period is a warring states period in Japanese history during the 15th and 16th centuries. Thank you. Now we know. Now we know, right? Find the right page. Jengoku Jidai, men offer to die for the honor of a warrior's life. You know what the samurai had to do as part of the samurai code, right? Seppuku, harikari. That was the way it was. The sun's coming and we're watching it rise. As a new era's here, it's as solid as iron. Pull the tongs from the fire. Strike the hammer to the anvil. Craft a weapon to bring an enemy to a standstill. The blacksmith is the wizard that gives us these powers. Devour enemies, leaping down from the siege towers. So, you're referring to the Iron Age, where when they discovered iron, it changed the world, Going from the bronze to the iron, it was a big difference. And it really, really advanced our civilization quite a bit. It was, just the before really discovering how to make steel. And, of course, that came pretty quickly afterward. Leaping down from siege towers, the better the tech is, the lesser the effort to wreck it. The less time to see their eyes and feel sympathetic. Never regret it. So you know how battles used to be. Eye to eye, face to face, you could smell your enemy's breath on you. You might even get some spit in you. You'll probably get blood and guts all over you. As well as everything else that happens to a human being face to face with death. Right in your face. Then you progress all the way to World War I, or even before that. Even when you were fighting with muskets and bayonets, you're still pretty close. Those muskets sucked. You didn't have any aim. You just shot, and then you had to put the load back in and the ball in there and pack it all up before you can get another shot off. But it was still very intimate. You could still see your enemy right in front of you. And then once you were in close contact, it was all different. And then that got to the point where we are today, where we have militaries flying drones where the pilot is really just someone sitting at a computer with a joystick and like they're playing a game, like Civilization. That's really, it's pretty dehumanizing when you can do it that way. A true knight never stays a true blade. Never says touche, as in I surrender, you win. But would forever lay in blue rays of weathered glades to demonstrate his never-ending dedication to the crusade. And they showed like some of those crusades bits in there with the Templars and everything. Reformation through flame. And after the cremation is a new age. And this is the best. Time's quill is quick to spill its ink onto a new page. I love that line. Verse 3, the faces are the same as when in days gone, but brains are cultivated, thus creating the Renaissance. Very, very cool, right? The faces are the same, but, with education and with, being able to survive. Once you get past the survival part of it, you can actually let your mind go into further areas that you couldn't before. Because think about it, all you're thinking about is surviving, which means food, shelter, water. And for our ancient ancestors, that's what it was all about. They didn't have a whole lot of time. They had some. Obviously, we see the cave paintings and other artifacts of art. I think that's just part of the human soul, needing to express what they see and what you feel. But, any sociologist will tell you that survival is the top. That's the base, I should say. That's the base, the foundation. Then you can move on. And they're saying that the brains are cultivated with education, causing the Renaissance. We're still using steel tools to stay strong, replacing blades with greater trades. Pen and paper, song. Faith in God is tested, hiding in the desert. When we were talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls hiding in the desert. Possibly. There's a couple other possibilities. Hey, listen, hit me down below in the comments and let me know, what you think about the song, what you think about these lyrics, your favorite lines, or little bits of info and that sort of thing. I'd love hearing from you guys down there. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, please. That's a great thing to do. Faith in God is tested, hiding in the desert, men excited, then enlightened by the scientific method. Try describing its expression by inscribing his impression. That's a real nice little tongue twister you got there, Dan Bull. With applying it to heavenly bodies that everybody reckoned must have been made by a creator or a greater force. Nature's author faced examination never faced before. The grace of horse and rider replaced by wars and violence. Tremendous violence. Think about bombs and, missiles. And some of these horrendous city-leveling bombs. Nukes, Debased the laws of science, made the case for all the pious. Why is it progress always leads to loads of mess? The western region spread across the globe and coalesced. Settlers spread disease with effortless ease. Was it reckless? Or did it just happen inevitably? I think more toward the inevitable because, mostly because they just didn't even realize. They didn't know. It's not like they knew what germs were or microscopic organisms and how that all worked. They had, different thoughts and ideas that were not correct because they just didn't know any better. Now, of course, once they did know that, these people are sick and they are sick on these blankets and sheets, and if we take those blankets and sheets and hurl them into the enemy's camps, or maybe even give them as a token of friendship, then they'll get sick and they'll die. But while evidently we never can see through the lens of this century, but there's no retreating now, whether or not it was meant to be. Fourth verse. The seven seas were sailed, navies prevailed, leaving trails of devastation in their wake. As people wailed, a world of wonder plundered, traded in the name of progress. A world of wonder plundered, traded in the name of progress. Deep line right there, too. That might be my second favorite line. A world of wonder plundered, traded in the name of progress. Yeah, we see that everywhere all the time, don't we? How we've destroyed this planet to put up, a mall, and then the mall closes, and now it's just empty buildings falling apart, going into decay. For what? What did we do? Oh, we made money. Because isn't that what it's all about, folks? It's making money. That's what life's all about. That's the meaning of life. Making money. Blah. Yeah. But human nature's way shows we should expect no less. Oh yes, struck by the realization this is just civilization in the natal stages of industrialization. Trust me when I say that previous achievements are just child's play. Compared to this colossal school of thought, we set the world ablaze with fossil fuel we bought. It's an epiphany, giving us pretty much infinite energy. It's electricity. Edison, Nikola Tesla, different inventors, giving us everything we depend on, whether it's engines, cinema, television, or telecoms. Pretty much true, right? I'm glad that he gave credit to Tesla because a lot of people don't. I think he's getting more respect nowadays than back during his lifetime. Even back when I was young. I don't think he got as much respect as he's getting nowadays. Our eyes are open. Giving us everything we depend on, whether it's engine, cinema, television, or telecoms. Yes. Sending a message and spreading it on. These unreal frontier channels, we develop the tech and then sell it on. The reel travels round with the speed of a machine gun's barrels. Machinery's a meaner beast, and we're still in the saddle. No need for cavalry. Battle superseded that with ease. Allies in Axis, charging each other like batteries, charging each other. So you're thinking of Allies in Axis and charging, like running across the field with your weapon, ready to, but then they're charging each other like batteries. A power vacuum allowing the superstates to flourish. That's true. After World War II, that's exactly what happened. Redistribute the food, even if it means people are malnourished. Propaganda is the only view that you're allowed to publish. More true now than ever. Because totalitarians are well aware of how to punish. Gunning down numbers countless for doubtless nothings that they've done. But that won't stop subversive insurgents. Dan, you've got the best language, the best vocabulary, I should say. Not language, that sounds horrible. You have the best vocabulary to be able to put all this into your rap. Highly intelligent and polysyllabic, if you could even say that. It's really brilliant. I love that. Whether creativity or demonstrating general relativity. I love seeing Einstein there. That was cool. Evidently, when we find time to be efficient, Einsteinian clear vision can reveal the precision behind the blind's nuclear fission. Despite derision, physicists decide the mission is dividing, splitting atoms, till a blinding light is given. Quite efficient. The divine right to mankind's plight is christened. A minor decision hijacked by politicians. Typical, yes. Ongoing. Historical. It's always been. But as long as they listen to the will of the people, treat all as brilliant equals, we can achieve more than we've ever conceived before. And now the outro. Leave this poor place. Please explore space. Earth, she's a small base. Even more awaits. I implore great leaders to lead with all the grace. Boy, that's a contradiction there, right? World leaders leading with grace. I don't know about that. What do you guys think about that? Grace? But he understandably implores them too, of which we're capable, and be the author of your fate. Band together and endeavor, clasp our hands together as our ancestors have, and stand the test of time forever. Amazing, Dan. Amazing. Really, really well done. Knight, thank you so much. This was a big eye-opener. This was awesome. I cannot wait to hear your opinions in the comments section there. So until the next time, my dear friends, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.